It's flow, it's abundance, it's magnetism. But when you're flowing and you're, acting on your passions and just stuff starts, it's support, it's universe support, really. And so you're supported by the universe and the right people are showing up, the right connections are happening, and you're like, wait, is that a coincidence? No, there is no coincidence. It's,
Exactly. There's
yeah.
no.
Welcome to Permission the Podcast. I'm Dr. T, and this is my sister,
Silvana, and we are two regular people talking about spirituality in our daily lives.
Each week, we're inviting you to the internal conversation. So let's get started.
With your permission.
And we're back.
To Permission the Podcast.
And today's episode is the alignment.
I love that. We just freestyled that name.
Yeah. And it has to do with what's happening right now and how people are just showing up. Like there's something we want, right? As a business, something I want personally as with my artwork and everything I'm doing. And then people are just showing up. We need a coder. Oh, I'm a coder. I'm like, everything is just happening.
It's like magic.
It's magic and effortless.
Well, I feel like that's a tricky thing to go into because it's not from lack of effort.
Right. But it's just happening, meaning we want something. It's not like we're chasing it. Yes, we're looking for it, but it's instead of us, it's looking for us too, in a way. I feel like it's looking for me too, because I'm putting it out there. I need a coder. I need this, or I want this. And it's just also searching for me.
Yes. Truth.
So it's kind of magnetism and also, I don't know, abundance. It's a mix of a lot of things. Abundance, magnetism, just flowing. Like I feel like I'm in this amazing creative flow energetically. It's amazing.
And so at the same time, we're putting our reps in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just, laying in bed all day waiting for the coder to knock on my door.
Exactly.
Right? Like I'm doing stuff with my routines, with everything I do, how I'm calling in abundance and magnetism every like I'm saying the right people for me are gonna just show up, and they're showing up. And yes, we're doing recordings, we're doing things to head us that way.
Exactly. So it's not like we're not doing things. I don't want people to think, oh, we're just meditating and all of a sudden things are dropping from the sky.
Right. Like I am creating the art that people want to buy. It's not just materializing on its own, but also I'm being very creative and I'm using that. Like I see in my mind, I see the image of what I want to create and I'm like, oh, let me get out of bed. I'm doing it right now, or I'm drawing it before I forget, and so I am doing, but as I'm doing, I'm also attracting the right people.
Right.
That want it.
As you're doing the thing, then other things are happening. I mean, also, listen, we recorded how many episodes before we had a guest? We probably recorded 50 episodes before we had our first guest.
Yeah, that's about right.
And, each time we record it, we're getting a rep in, right? So it's not like
Everything is a
out of
workout.
nowhere.
The what of the day.
I mean, it's not out of nowhere. And when these things come up, okay, an example, because we're talking about alignment, and I have been feeling very aligned with all of the things as well. I went to a New York City Association of Contextual Behavioral Science barbecue on Saturday. Try to say that 10 times fast. And and I started talking to someone who's going through a rebranding, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I was so kind of into the idea of the rebranding. It's a cool idea, and we were sharing blah blah blah. And we were talking about things like marketing things and things like that. And me and you, Kui, have been talking about either starting the episode the same or ending the episode the same with guests, right?
Yes.
Like starting off with the same question or ending with the same question. And that came into the conversation. Oh, I'm actually, having that conversation with my sister for our podcast. And I'm just like mentioning the podcast as like a thing that I do, right? But also in context of the conversation, I'm talking about like this very specific creative piece that we're kind of toying around with the idea of doing. And that's also a part of marketing and branding, because then people will know that, oh, this is how they always end that episode. Like I know, for example, Diary of a CEO, the last guest leaves a question for the next guest. So I know
Right.
to expect that at the end of the episode, and I'm expecting it, right? Because that's a thing that comes with the package of the Diary of a CEO, and it's branding, and it can go into marketing, because he also makes those questions available for people and who they're from. I think he sells that. So it's kind of like marketing and branding, and we were talking about that. And then I mentioned the podcast, and she was like, whoa. You have a podcast? And I was like, oh yeah, me and my sister. Da, da, da. And then we're talking about it, right? And she's like, I want to see it. So I pull it up on her phone, and she's like, oh, you like really have a podcast? That's like a lot of episodes.
Right.
And I was
it's
like,
legit. It's legit. No,
it feels legit now. But now, and it's just so interesting, because I think that same day or the day before, I was kind of querying chat. I was like, hey, chat, I have this podcast. We've been doing it for a year. We're going to stick with it. So as we're introducing guests, because Talita, my niece, was here and we did that podcast, I don't know how many podcasts ago. And I'm going to get another mic and make it easier to have in-person guests. And then I'm thinking, well, how do I make it look and feel like, how do I start making it and look and feel like I'm a podcaster in my home? Just like slow things, not like, oh, I'm going to, spend all this and create a studio. It's more like getting slow steps to start an environment of a podcasting ambience, right? So that people can come in and we're hosting, because we've decided to be really intentional and serious about this moving forward. I think initially I was like, let's just give it a go for a year and see if it takes. We're killing it. We're having fun.
Yeah. It took.
Yeah, it took. So so even in that, like there was a conversation about marketing and branding. I wasn't necessarily like pitching, hey, you should follow this my podcast, right? It was just kind of a thing that happened, and then she looked at it right there in real time and saw, oh, you're like a podcaster. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I am. It was funny.
That is funny. Is she going to be a guest?
She could. I can ask her. I mean, also, it's like that stuff that has been happening so much, where I've been kind of saying, oh, you know, this thing, and I'm saying the thing as a yada 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 to a point, right? Like, so for me in my head, that conversation was like, oh, and yada yada yada, I'm thinking about branding and marketing myself. The yada yada was the podcast. Her stopping point was, wait, you have a podcast. So it's like, it's stuff like that that feels in alignment, where it's not like, hey, you should follow my podcast. It's kind of happening organically. Yeah. Yeah.
And we're twinning again.
It's so funny.
I know. It's I feel the same way about my art right now. So I got into, I do everything, right? Like I carve wood with my dad every day. Then I saw the sign. I was like, I'm really into copper and the conductivity of the metal, and I use it. I have a couple of pieces that I use when I'm doing a session, like an energy healing session or meditation, as a group with the women and with my women's circle. And so I said, I can make my own stuff. And so I got a couple of I got wires, different gauges, and I started messing around with it, and all of these beautiful pieces started to come out. So I went from, okay, I'm making sun catchers to I'm doing making jewelry now. So, and people are like, I love that last piece you posted on Instagram. How much is it? And also, I have orders now. I've sold 6 pieces, and all I've been doing is really just posting my art. And so I'm like, okay, this is what is happening, right? People are coming. I'm not like, yes, I want to sell my stuff, and I have the intention of selling it, but people are reaching out to me to buy it. So to me, that's magic, right? That's the magnetic part of it. And while I'm creating these pieces, I'm like, my heart is open. I'm putting intention into it, and then I'm like, okay, this is I like spirals. They're portals. I like this, and I explain it when I put my when I put them on Instagram. When I do my post, I put what it means to me, and people are like, oh yeah. So now I've been asked for the retreat that I'm going to in Portugal in July. I'm gonna do I was gonna lead meditation, but now she also wants me to do the craft,
an artwork
with wire.
Yes, fire.
And so in the island, because we're going to Azores Island in Portugal, when people are going to grab, I don't know, a stone, whatever they from nature, then I'm going to wire into this. We're going to wire it. Each person will wire into this piece they can put in a pot, like a pot. stand, or not a stand, a little thing like potjewelry, I call it. Making your plans,
That's so funny.
And so it's exciting.
Yeah.
Alignment. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
It's just people coming and asking to buy it.
It's so fascinating. I was just thinking, while you were talking, I was just thinking, so are we hustling, or is the hustle coming to us?
Well, it's just funny because it's not funny because after hot yoga today, I went to 6 a.m. yoga, and my ladies, Radka is the lady that's leading. She's my instructor, a friend, but she's the one that's doing the retreat, yoga with a twist. And they asked me, hey, you want to there's a coffee shop by the yoga studio. You guys want to grab some coffee afterwards? I don't drink coffee, so I had iced tea. It's so nice out. It's like summertime now. And so we're talking, and there was 4 of us, and one lady was talking about, love and relationships and where she's at and whatnot. And then one of the ladies asked me, hey, so are you looking for love? And I looked at her. Love is looking for me.
Fire.
And she said,
yes.
I love that.
Yes.
And because that's how I feel right now, although I'm creating the stuff, they're looking for me. They're looking for my pieces, the people that are meant to or want it or that are attracted to it. They're just coming. So am I hustling?
The hustle's coming to us.
The hustle is coming to us, but I'm also being very active and taking action and making the art, right?
Yeah. I was just talking to Didi yesterday because she was, I don't know if we've talked about this. She started reading Homeless to Billionaire. We've talked about this.
Yes, you told me the other day.
In a previous episode, right? Like
or
about
on
this
a phone
book.
call.
No, we
talked about it on a
podcast
podcast.
about
Yes,
this
we
book.
did.
Okay.
Yes.
Homeless to Billionaire.
Amazing.
Still recommend it.
I know. I've recommended it to so many people. It's not even funny.
Still recommend it. So she started reading the book a few weeks ago now. I think 2 weeks ago. And she's stuck on chapter 1. Chapter 1 has one activity. I think it's the only activity in the whole book.
Oh, the list.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other to do. You know how some self-improvement books have little things that you can do. Oh, and do this little thing and you'll notice, whatever.
This
or
many days.
you'll find out this or whatever. It's funny, the chapter, I'm reading a book too, and the chapter I was reading this morning was about the 3 circles. And I'm sure you've heard of this 3 circles. This is total side tangent. I'm going to go back to the story. But the 3 circles where you're putting in the stuff that you're good at, the stuff that you really love to do, and the stuff that can make you money. The 3 circles, and you write these little lists, and the intersect of those 3 circles
in a place. Okay.
It's like something you're really good at, something that you
You're
really love to
passionate.
do,
Yeah.
and something that'll make you money, like this podcast. And stuff like that, where books have these little things that people can do, right? So
Okay.
in that whole book, Homeless to Billionaire, I think there's one activity, and it's in chapter 1. And the activity is make a list of all the things that you don't want. Hard no, right? And then the second thing is make a list of all the things that are the opposite of that, what you don't want. And then the third thing is, okay, what are little steps that you can take towards the things that you actually want? And she's stuck on
The little steps.
not knowing what she wants.
Or that she knows what she doesn't want, so she can start with that. And then the opposite would be what she wants.
I told her, stop thinking. Just start doing something.
Yeah.
Like, she knows she wants to be physically fit, physically active. She knows she wants to start running again. She wants to go into some kind of strength training, not CrossFit, even though I don't know.
I was gonna say, have you converted her into
No,
CrossFitism?
I don't know why she skipped, that gene skipped her, but other side tangent. My cousin came to stay with me over the weekend, and I was
Yay.
like,
That's Anna.
Anna, and I said, hey, do you want to do CrossFit on Sunday? And she said yes.
Absolutely.
So we went.
She loves
We went,
hardcore stuff.
and she did the whole thing. And I was like, what are you smoking? So she hasn't done CrossFit in 10 years, and she did 400 reps.
That's awesome. What was the name of the workout?
Or insane. I don't know.
Oh. You know, all the workouts have a name.
It was the regionals. It was a regional, like a competition WOD. So
Okay.
it was 100 pull-ups, 100 kettlebell swings, 100 double unders, and 100 overhead squats.
She finished?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
But she did, she modified stuff, obviously, but she still did 400 reps. What are you smoking?
That's awesome. It's,
well, whatever gene we have,
she's
Titi
very
doesn't
competitive.
Yeah.
Also, Anna is like, if other people can do it, she's competitive.
Well, I was there doing, like we're doing it together. She's seeing me go, and I can,
so
and
like,
I keep going.
So she's like, well, yeah.
Like, what?
I can just hear her, like, her muscle face. Oh, I'll do this shit. Hey,
whatever. So
when
whatever
I CrossFit, I got her into CrossFit. So,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I introduced CrossFit to her, and she loved it.
Whatever gene we have, Titi doesn't have. So she wants to do some strength thing. I don't know what. And I said, whatever it is, you need to stop thinking and start doing something.
Action. And I feel like also we've been doing a lot of that action. What's the action? What are you doing? And even yesterday, I had a conversation with a friend that was talking about his current place where he's at and where he wants to change and what he wants to do. And I'm like, okay, sounds fabulous. That's awesome that you know that you want to change this and that. My question to you, what are you doing? What's the action that you're taking to get there? Right? Because collecting information, there's a lot of that. I can give you information. You can get tons of advice now on Instagram and whatever, TikTok or whatever. But what are you doing? What steps are you doing? What action are you taking? And that's what it boils down to. When you take that action, you have intention, you have action. What happens? Magic.
Magic. You know what I've been doing lately? I've been inviting people. So I went to this ACBS conference, right? Association for Contextual Behavioral Science conference in the Bronx, and it felt like it was out of state. It took me.
Why do you do that? You're such a New Yorker.
Listen,
the Bronx, that's
I
not
had
New
to
York.
I had to leave my
That's 40
apartment
minutes away.
at 6 a.m. The thing started at 8. Stop it. Okay. So anyway, regardless, that aside, I went to this conference. The
In
conference
another
changed my
country,
life.
the Bronx.
I'll get to why that changed my life. But so I met this wonderful Irish woman, and we bonded over that, right? And she was talking to me about how, she really wishes that there was an ACT therapist on Instagram that she could follow that does like videos about ACT and this and that. And we were talking about that. And I gave her an invitation. And I was like,
Why isn't she the one?
I said, if you're not seeing it, I would invite you to be the person that you would want to see on Instagram doing the acting.
Yeah.
And I think we both got a little choked up by it.
She's like, oh, step up.
It was like she was inspired. She was excited and she was afraid.
Yeah.
And,
which is basically, if you're afraid, that's a sign.
That's a great sign.
Run towards it.
Exactly.
Run it like a freight train. And there's my sound effect.
I've been giving, and I did that with someone else at the conference too, that was thinking about writing a book. And just as an aside, thinking doesn't make things happen. However much you think about doing X, the X will not happen if you don't do.
I have to disagree a little bit. And disagree not in the terms of like, yes, you have to take action to see something, to reach a goal. But the power that your mind has to think and make it a reality, it is so real, right? So if I am, and that goes into manifestation too, like you're thinking it, you're feeling it, and then you're bringing it in. So thinking about it and creating it, it's also part of it. What I'm like, obviously, I'm not just going to be like, I just want to be a billionaire and I'm going to sit in my bed all day. I'm going to become a
You have to do something.
I'm going to become a billionaire, but I'm going to sleep all day and every day and just stay in bed all day.
No,
but you have to have intention,
you can
action,
become a billionaire in
yeah.
your dreamscape, and then you kind of veg into that state, and that could be a way of doing it, sure.
Right. But I do feel that putting your thoughts and thinking about something also makes your body believe it. I do practice a lot of the tapping, and I told you about it where I tap on the left, something I don't have but I want, and I tapped on the right, something that it's real, right? Like my name is Silvana, and I'm going to show it without, I'm going to move so you tap around your ear all the way to here, and on one side, and you ask on the left side, you asking for something. And so right now I'm tapping for a 6-pack. I want a 6-pack. But there's also action. Yeah. I do yoga every day, like all of the sudden with my morning routine I do the olive oil. I take 2 spoons of olive oil with some oregano oil in it. Like I feel like with that, I've gotten rid of parasites. I don't crave sugar. I don't crave carbs. So I have dropped a lot of that body fat, right? And so little by little, I'm like, yeah, my six pack is coming. And so I'm making it through a reality by thought and thinking about it, but I'm also taking healthy steps to meet it, right?
Yeah. So the tapping is at the top of the ear and going around the back of the earlobe, just to give people a description,
A description instead of a visual.
That's not, especially those that are not seeing us.
And eventually your brain will make it happen, right? Like the right and the left side will meet and say, okay, this is a reality. Because your mind doesn't know the difference between a thought and a real thing. So if you think about it, that's why when you think about something and you replay it in your mind and you relive it and you are feeling those emotions, it's like you're repeating that event, right?
Right.
And so that's why you have like if it's something traumatic in your life, you'd relive it because your mind doesn't know the difference. That is just a thought that you're thinking about, but it's making it happening all over again, and you're feeling those emotions. So can you just think and make it happen? Yes.
To an extent.
Yeah.
With lots of limitations.
I don't subscribe to limitations, so that's your subscription.
No, the thing is that when you think about something, it depends on what we're talking about, because there's two things, right? One is you're thinking about something, you're believing it, and that changes what you do, right? So, if I think, for example, I'm a healthy person, right? I do that thinking shapes what I do throughout the day. And those little actions or decisions go into this greater identity. I am a healthy person, and that governs what I do. It also governs what I don't do. So it's not that there isn't action connected to it. The thinking does change what you end up doing. It's also a belief system.
Yeah. I've met a person that would eat all kinds of everything. And he always say, no, I never gain weight. I always wake up the same weight. And he would say it all day long. Like, I never gain weight. I always wake up the same weight. So I can eat whatever I want. Sure enough, he stays at that weight always. And sure enough, he eats absolutely whatever. And at all times, at night, whatever. So that to me is, like you are what you say you are.
For sure.
So
absolutely
the power of your words and believing it. So you're believing it, So his avatar is very well
trained
to be that.
I agree with that. And a lot of it too is programming. We're programming ourselves. Okay, back to the topic of alignment.
Okay, alignment.
Come on. So, we've started a business, Reyes Castillo, LLC. Can I just say I'm really happy about this business?
I hope so.
I'm happy about the business. I'm happy about our name. My name.
So
I'm happy about my name.
eventually back to be my name. Not yet.
Feel like everything is changing fast and slow. With the hustle coming to us, I feel that we have been putting the foundation of what this business is for the past year now, a little over a year now. And even though we have put like a year's worth of work in with stuff, it does feel like it's going fast and slow. Does it feel like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's both. And also, a lot of it doesn't feel like work. So that's, to me, that's definitely a plus.
I don't know if we have different definitions of work.
Well, I know I'm putting my time and hours. It just doesn't feel like, I gotta.
I don't think is the definition of work.
To me, maybe it is a wrong definition I have of work, but it always felt like I have to do this for someone else. And it is different when it's for you. So maybe that's the difference. The difference is when it's yours, it means different. It just feels different. It just fulfills you differently. So I think that's the difference.
It's my sweat, blood, and tears.
For my benefit.
And we reap the rewards.
Exactly.
So we have a coder. That happened. Do you want to talk about how that happened? Because that was just like a far out story.
Yeah. So I belong to this, it's a circle, spiritual circle. And there's all of these people, we're 13 people, 12 women, one man. And we were having a call to meet each other, to talk to each other. And I got into the call, and this woman was in it, which I know her from another circle, which is a coherence healing circle that we have. And
wait, she's from the coherence circle?
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yo.
So, and that circle was born out of the retreat from Joe Dispenza retreat, right? Okay. So I go into the call, and she's the only one in it for the first, 5 minutes, which is weird, And so she starts just chit-chatting to me. And then she told me about something she was doing, like she was making. And I'm like, wait a minute. And so I'm like, all of a sudden it light up, and I'm like, are you a coder? And she goes like, yes. And I'm like, well, I need a coder. So thank you.
I need you.
And it just felt like, how my body just felt it, like she's the one. And then I told you, hey, we're going to meet with, I have a coder. And you go like, how do you know she's the right person? And I'm like, just show up. She's the right person. And then you met her, and you can tell the rest of the story.
Well, I met her, and she's like a double Gemini.
Yes.
And with a life path 7, that's it. So a life path 7 is just like the path of wisdom and like knowledge and
Gemini too. She's so techy, like.
Well, yeah, the innovation and all this other stuff. So I was
She's
like,
perfect.
wow.
And then that was the last question I had for her. We were ending our call, and I was like, this is a very important question. What's your sign? What's your rising moon? This is really important for Teresa. And what's your life path number? And she goes like, well, nobody's ever asked me that.
No one never asked me that.
On the business call. So,
you gotta know who we're dealing with.
yeah, and then I was thinking too, like this is after that call, and it's actually a couple of days ago. I was just like, a women business, me and you were women. Our coder is a woman. And I just felt like, wow, that energy, that feminine energy in this business the force is strong.
And you want me to find a male psychologist to guest star?
In our podcast, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like, well, I want the masculine energy to come through, like we have all our guests we've had so far are women.
Yeah.
And
Truth.
so I think we're ready for that masculine energy to show up and talk to us.
Speaking of, I'm warming up to the idea of getting a dog. Which will be a male dog.
Another male dog.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm projecting for next year.
Okay.
You want to know his name?
You got a name already?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Causa.
So causa is a dish, a Peruvian dish made with potatoes, mashed potatoes. It's kind of mashed, and it's spicy, and you put
it's
a
the
filling. You can put it. You can do it with tuna fish, like from a can, or you can do it with chicken or shrimp, whatever. It's really good.
Tuna.
Spicy.
It's also the cause.
Yeah, it also means the cause. And I think the whole story behind that is that when they was, when they were trying to free Latin American countries or, South American countries from Spain in the rebellion, with Simon Bolivar and all of that. Like what they were doing is when they were trying to feed the soldiers, and they would collect whatever they had to feed the soldiers, it would be like, it's for the cause. Es por la causa.
Por la causa.
And there was a lot of potatoes. There was a lot of things. And they made this dish made with potatoes, and, they filled it with tuna fish. And they call it causa because it was for the cause.
Yeah, and I think it was convenient that it was cold, too.
Yeah.
Like, you could just serve it. It's cold.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's hilarious.
It's it's also the name of just like a friend. Oh, mi causa.
All right, and there's in slang in Peru, we use that word to say, "Oh, this is my buddy, this is my friend, this
like
is
a close friend.
It's my causa."
Yeah, like a close friend.
Yeah,
so it's multi-layered, multi-dimensional. It has all the things. That's what I'm going with.
Causa.
That's what I got. Causa.
Okay,
Causita.
Causita.
You're ready for him now. Now you're like, now he's materialized. You're like, where is he now? He's not born yet.
Is a mini schnauzer?
Huh?
Is he gonna be a mini schnauzer?
Mini schnauzer?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay.
And I was like, no, it can't be a mini schnauzer because what are you trying to do? Replace Iman? And I'm like, well, no, but no. But also, I like mini schnauzers. What am I going to do?
Yeah. Okay. Causa.
Okay, so
alignment.
The coder happened that way.
The coder happened.
The security architect just fell from the sky.
Yeah. That too. You can tell the story about that.
So I was doing my regular post Saturday partner WOD coffee with some gym bros.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, talking about the app, the system that we're working on. And I think it was the same conversation. It was kind of like yada, yada, yada. I'm looking for a coder and this is blah, blah, blah. My friend was like, oh, what are you working on? So I described, and I got all like excited, and I'm like describing, because solo therapists don't want to focus on anything other than what's in the therapy room and this, and I'm gonna, and it's integrating this and this and this, and I was all like,
Yeah, like, woohoo.
and he goes, well, I'm gonna connect you with my guy. I'm like, okay.
Who's your guy?
So I got connected with a guy. We had a call, and the call lasted like 3 minutes. I was like,
Okay.
oh, okay. So I think I'm pretty aware of what you're doing. Here's what I think you need. I think you need a security architect. My boy does this. He's blah, blah, blah. And I'm just gonna do an email intro, and you guys can take it from there. Do you need anything else? And I was like, no. The call was 3 minutes long.
That's awesome. Very efficient.
And I was like, no, I think that's it. And he's like, great. It was great meeting you, blah, blah, blah. I'll send that email sometime today. And then I set up the meeting with the security architect, and we met with the coder beforehand. And now we're the 4 of us are going to be meeting. It's kind of like boom, 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 boom. It's bananas.
It's alignment.
That's
for sure.
Yeah.
That's alignment. And magic.
So we've been talking about alignment this whole time, and maybe we should, talk about what does it mean when we say that? Like, we've been talking on and on for like 50 minutes. What do we mean when we say that? I think we just mean flow.
Yeah. Because to me, there's like a lot of components to it. It's flow, it's abundance, it's magnetism, but when you're flowing and you're, acting on your passions, and just stuff starts, it's support, it's universe support, really. And so you're supported by the universe, and the right people are showing up, the right connections are happening, and you're like, wait, is that a coincidence? No, there is no coincidence.
Exactly. There's no coincidence. So I think the best way I could describe it is when you're driving and you hit all the green lights. That, I feel like that's what it feels like. It's like, okay, I'm driving, and there's like, I have to drive through 10 traffic lights, and they're all green. What are the chances of that?
Alignment.
But then it kind of has to do with, you got ready in the morning at a specific time, you left your home at a specific time, you're in the driver's seat, you're meeting the traffic light where the traffic light is. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things that we can go into, and you're in that space to take the green lights all the way through, you know?
I call that presence.
Yeah. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Presence. I feel like I have a bit of a challenge when it's like there's this concept of effortless. Like it's just like effortless. And I don't know if I can subscribe to that because it's not without effort.
Like you have put effort, but it wasn't like you were like, oh, let me find I need a security architect.
No,
and
I had no idea
let
what
me go
a
look at the
security
yellow
architect
pages
was even.
to see where I can find them. You know,
The yellow pages.
you know
Stop
what
it.
I mean. Let me Google. You know what I mean? Like it just sort of fell in your lap. Like you said, he came from what did you say? He just fell
The
from
security
heaven.
architect fell from the fucking
Heaven.
sky.
Yeah. It's so when it comes to the effort, how much effort did you really put into looking for that person? It just happened in a 3-minute phone call that was previously a conversation at a coffee shop. So that's what I mean. That's like it's magnetism. It's attraction. You are attracting what you are wanting or what you need without knowing that you need it. Because did you know you needed a security architect when you said that? We're meeting with a security architect, and I'm like, oh, that sounds fancy. And what the hell is a security architect? And then now I figured it out after our coder broke it down for us.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know it existed, and I'm glad that we have this meeting.
Okay, so okay, again, the effort part.
I mean, okay, part of it I think is being open about things, right? Like I'm openly engaging with people. You are openly engaging with people. If I kept all of the things inside of my head and to myself, I would not have had that conversation with the person at my gym. And you would not have had that conversation with the coder if you just like imagine hopping on that call for 5 minutes and the two of you were just blankly staring at each other
or talking about the weather. Hey, it's so sunny out here. What about in your town?
Exactly. Oh yeah. How hard was that WOD? Yeah, that was hard. I will say we do talk about CrossFit a lot during the coffee.
I'm sure.
And we break down oh yeah, how much weight did you do? How many reps? When did you finish? Oh, okay. Oh, did you go high? You went low.
It's like, oh my gosh, she can lift more than me. What the fuck?
He says that all the time. He's the one that always says, you know, I know I'm doing good if I'm anywhere near the weight that you do. And I'm like,
mic drop.
You know, it's my favorite when me and the guys reach for the same weight.
And they look at you like, just checking. Is she really a man? She's a man.
No. Exagerada.
Yeah, no.
I mean, so the thing is that it's not without effort. It's not like, you know, I was at a coffee shop and I wasn't saying anything, and all of a sudden my friend is like, you know, I'm gonna connect you with my boy out of nowhere. No, it happened from me talking about the things that I'm doing, being open, being engaged, and being engaged with other people, not being afraid to talk about I have a podcast, not being afraid to say, I'm working on my second memoir, which then leads to, wait, the second means you wrote a first. What is that about? And then because that conversation has happened too, of me talking about what I'm working on now, and part of the things that I'm saying is I'm working on a second memoir, and then obviously I don't have to say that I wrote a memoir. And so then people are interested in, oh, there's a sample of your writing already. Where is it? Where can I get it? And that has happened too, which is
Okay.
pretty cool. So being open and engaged, and not concerned with, keeping things to yourself, I guess. Sometimes I would just like not say things just because to not say things. And now I'm just like, whatever, I'm just going to say whatever.
Right. So being open, being present, moving that energy, that flow of energy towards what you want. And so as you put that energy out there, because your words are energy, your thoughts are energy, you being met with, here you go. Were you looking for this? Here you go. And at the same time, being grateful for all of this stuff. And then I feel like the universe is like, oh, so you're grateful for this? Let's see what you do with this security architect. Here you go. So all of these things are falling in our laps in a way, but I feel like it's alignment because the stuff that we need is showing up without us knowing that we need it, right? Like, but it's like, okay, this is where you need to go. It's giving us like little signs and like, okay, no, stay to your right. Okay, now go on this phone call. And just taking the call, taking the meet.
And here's the other thing, that the other beef I have with effortless, I guess we can call it that.
Beef.
The beef I have with effortless too is that,
Is that a gym word? Beef. I don't know, like beef. I think of beef, I'm like thinking muscle. I don't know. But I think you mean like just something you have against the problem.
The beef I have with effortless is there's something in there that feels like almost like unearned. And I believe we have been taking very specific, conscious, strategic steps towards making things happen. So I don't want to go into like alignment as in, we are just existing and things are just falling from the sky. Even though I just made that reference, it's more of that we have been, taking the steps, being intentional. And this is the fruits of being intentional with forward momentum and what we're focusing on and what we're creating. And that has an alignment piece, right? Because we're focused, and we're focused on creating a specific thing. Does that make sense? So it's not like it feels too easy. It's not that it feels unearned, because
Well, it's definitely not unearned, but it doesn't feel like we are, hustling to do it. Like, oh my God, like it's showing up. Yes, we are putting intention. Yes, we're putting hours. Yes, we're having a ton of meetings. But at the same time, the people that need to be in this with us, they're just finding us. And so that right there, it's magical, right? And so
It
can
is.
they fall from the sky? Yeah, that's a way. That's one way
Yeah,
it can happen in my
it is
matrix.
magic.
And so yes, they feel like they're falling from the sky and arriving. Hey, hello. Thank you, coder.
Oh, it's magic. You
Oh, here she
know.
comes. Um, what else? What else is happening?
There was
Hey,
some other big one, but
yeah,
what was it?
even oh, well, I'm not gonna mention names, but when we were talking about, okay, we're gonna open the podcast for male energy to come, and we were thinking, okay, who would it be a good choice, or who should be the right person to start this with, or not to start with? What guests can we invite? Male figures, and we hung up the phone that day, and then I had an image of a person who is quite famous. You can a little bit famous, right? He's got tons of followers, and he does stuff like he's very involved with men and spirituality. He has, in a way, he has his own men's circle. And so I got the courage to, okay, let me reach out. And I told them just that, I said, we're open. I told them about our podcast. We've been doing it for a year, and we are opening, and we're ready to have guests that are not females, but we want the male energy to come in. And your face came into my field, like into my mind. And so this is why I'm reaching out to you. If you're interested, I can, it will be whatever many minutes. And so he responds to me, let's do it. And I was like, oh my God.
Magic.
And it's magical. So we will have male guests.
Some pretty stellar male guests.
Yeah. And so that, I mean, was it effortless? No, I saw it and I acted on it. He
Right.
wasn't going to text me, hey, can I be a guest in your podcast? No. Right?
Right. It's which brings TD back into the conversation of like, just do.
Move towards it. Right. Like make one step at a, it's even small ones, right? It doesn't have to be like, oh, I need to run. I need to be, this whole culture of everything. I want everything right away. I want the pill that's going to make me have my six pack. Hey, let me take my six pack pill.
Yo.
No, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't want you to think, oh, it has to be hard either. But you have to have intention, and you have to move towards what you want, right? Intention, action, magic. And so,
Can we? I like that. Intention, action, magic.
yeah,
I mean, I think we should make that a formula. I'm going to write that down. Intention, action, magic.
and also kindness to yourself, right? Like be patient, be kind, If you move like turtles, I was thinking about turtles. Turtles move at a slow pace, but they get to where they want to go. If they're sea turtles going to the ocean, they small steps and they go there, right? They're not sidetracked by stuff, or they're not in it for a race. They're not racing to get somewhere, but they're like making this steady steps towards what they want. And I feel like with kindness to yourself and just little by little. They don't have to be huge steps. But move. Right?
I wrote that down too, by the way. Intention, action, magic. Intention plus action equals magic.
Okay.
I mean, we can start thinking about some merch.
Okay.
We can do a little merch stuff. I
Okay.
don't know.
Let's do it.
I see some ideas for like 3Ps.
Ooh.
3Ps in a pod.
3Ps. I like it. And you know, I made a piece of jewelry. It's an eye. It's a bracelet. And if you want to look at it, you can go into my Instagram. It's kututu.art. So it's KUTUTU.art. And this piece it's copper. It's an eye, and I braided. It's olive color leather. So I braided, and it has 4 strands. But what I was thinking while I was doing that, it's like how I braid my hair when I want to protect my energy. So in a braid to me means mind, body, and soul. So you braid your hair and you're like, they're together, they're connected. You enter a room with a lot of people and my braid is there.
That's cool. I didn't even know that.
I put that braid and I'm thinking about that. And then obviously the first eye is your intuition. And so just intention into that piece. And I'm getting a lot of questions about that piece, like, oh, that's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah. Intention, action.
You know, what's interesting is just recently I sent him, because I'm working on the sci-fi trilogy with a friend, right? A co-writer and co-creator.
Co-creator.
And I sent a message to her like, hey, Red, I'm having a hard time with this. Like what do I do next? Where do we go from here? Because the process has been we meet up, we discuss how the world building is going, the direction, the gaps, this is choppy, this needs more filling out, this needs to be moved over here, and we kind of tackle it strategically, but also work on building the development of the characters and making sure that the world actually looks and feels how we imagine it looks and feels, and we're on the same page and all this other stuff. So we have not been able to meet for a little bit. I was sick for a little bit and whatever. So I sent her this message of like, Red, I don't know what to do. and she goes, yeah, we are ready for an editor. And I was and I was almost taken aback by her response. And I kind of sat with it. I did a numbers check. I wanted to hit 120,000 words for the first rough draft. I did a pulse on the word count. I did a check, and I had just a little over that.
Ooh. Wait, was I in a phone call when you said I'm checking how many words I have? Was that it?
Yeah.
It's like, I reached it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. But you didn't really say what it was for. Okay, got it.
100 and if you want to be specific right now, it is 120,675 words right now, today.
Sounds like a lot.
Well, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a lot. So that and what's interesting is I wanted to be done with the first rough draft in May. Today is May 18th. We're recording this episode. So I didn't just 120,000 words didn't just happen overnight. Right. Or just didn't just appear on the page. Right. I started working with my co-creator roughly September. Say August to be generous. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It's 10 months. In 10 months, I wrote the first rough draft of this book. That's insane.
That's amazing.
I mean, and a lot of it was intentions with,
action. Okay, keep going. You know the answer.
Intentions with like specific goals, goals for the week, goals for. I had weekly goals, I had monthly goals, I had long-term goals, right? So I did set a time frame of by the end of May. That's an ideal kind of trajectory for if I keep doing 5,000 words a week. And roughly, I'll be here around this time. I'll be here around this time. If I do 5,000 words a week, then by May I should have 120. So it's about that as well. There was a set goal. There was consistency. When she sent me that message, it did feel like magic. Like, oh shit.
We're there.
We're already here already.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also, you take the steps and you do the things and all of a sudden you've reached the goal. And I was thinking, at the end of May, I want to be done with the first book and maybe I'll take some time off. No. No.
But talking about being steady and being like when you were setting your goals, I also remember how you were setting goals and like, I need to do this many words per meeting, or you've had goals.
Yeah,
reachable goals
upon goals upon goals.
Upon goals, but which to me is like a step, another step, another step, another step. Instead of thinking directly to the magic part, right? If you're focusing on like, oh, by May I need to have, I don't know, what did you say, 1 million words?
120,000
words. If you're focused like, oh my God, how am I going to get it? That's a lot of words. And you can get overwhelmed and all of that. But if you're setting one step at a time towards that goal, then it becomes, okay, taking action. Yes, maybe I'm not going to go apple picking. Yes.
I never went apple picking. Can I be honest about that?
Yeah. And so
I want to be honest about that.
but it's like you are heading towards it. You're like not being distracted by apple picking. Right? You're setting a goal and you're respecting that goal. You're doing it. You're doing the work. You're taking the action.
Oh, I'm getting my reps in.
I know.
I'm getting my reps in.
I know. And I respect that about you because I know how you work. You're like very, you put it's like, we're doing this. We need to we're going away. So we need to record this many episodes.
X amount of episodes, yeah.
And you're like calling me, okay, can we do it this day and this day? So today we're going to record more than one episode. So if you see the same shirt, I'm not changing it. We did 2 episodes today.
You putting the secrets out there. I'm thinking of doing a uniform. I had a uniform for winter, which was my black zip up. Now I think I'm just going to use a black t-shirt.
Okay. What is it? The
Uniform.
Diaries of the CEO uniform?
Yeah.
No. I'm wearing different colors. So
it helps
taking
with
action.
Decision cost. Decision costs. I have only so much bank for making silly decisions. What I wear is not. Whatever. Anyway.
Okay. Do you have one last thought about alignment and everything that's happening to us, for us, coming to us?
In service of us, yeah.
Yeah. In the benefit of us.
I think this episode will kind of run into the next episode because the next episode is about being instead of doing. Not instead of doing, but being in addition to doing.
Yeah.
So there are lots of things that are relevant with alignment and being aware and being present to the things that are I mean,
Right. You got to meet the magic.
You have to meet the opportunity when the opportunity shows up.
If it shows up.
And no one's home. Like, hello, like, the lights are on and no one's home. Come on.
Yeah. So you have to be available or willing, present to just, okay, open the door and step into it. With
so
action.
A lot of the things we're going to be talking about in the next episode are kind of connected to this episode.
Okay. So we'll be right back.
So this is the alignment. This is what we have for you this week, and we'll be back next week.
With your permission.
And that is all we have for you this week.
Make sure you follow Permission the Podcast.
And we'll be back next week with your permission.